And so this video is, if nothing else, for me, just a reminder to get ahead with all of the content. Get so far ahead on all of the content that I could take a month-long trip and I still wouldn't fall behind. If I can work smarter and more efficiently and more consistently in getting way, way, way ahead, then I can be more free. As a team, we've got a bunch of cameras. We have a Sony a7S III. This is definitely like the prize horse. This is the best camera we have. Right now it's got an old vintage manual lens on it, which is cool, but not as easy to use. And we've got an older, my first real camera that Paul's working on right now. This is a Sony a7R II. It's like, I don't know, 8 years old at this point. Still rips, still does really, really good quality video. Over here, we've got probably the second best camera of the crew. Then this is a Sony a7 IV. Supposedly it's about as good at video, close to as good at video as the a7S III, but not quite as good and better than at photo than that as well. And then the camera I'm working on right now, shooting on right now, this is a new camera. This guy is a Sony ZV-E1. Honestly, I got it because it's easy. It's easy to carry around. It's very simple. I have like all autofocus and auto exposure, auto white balance on it right now, and it's smart. It's also extremely light. If I were to take this tripod off, the form factor of this thing is absolutely nuts and super, super light, super easy to carry around. And this lens, also pretty light. Got some other cool stuff there. But we're batch shooting a bunch of short form content today. I do want to say, you don't need all these cameras. I batch shot for a very, very long time, just using one camera, changing my clothes, changing the angle slightly. But I wanted to get this new camera anyway for more walk around style shooting, specifically for a trip that I have coming up. And this video seems like a pretty good test for what it's capable of, specifically on the video side of things, because it seems like the photos are gonna be pretty darn good. Check, hey. For help in a single month as a real estate team. Very grateful for y'all. It's often super tempting in general on this channel to make videos that are sort of like how to do whatever, right? How to think about certain things, how to actually execute certain things. And while I do really enjoy making those videos, some of that is for documentation purposes, so I can look back on it and remember how I was thinking about things. Some of it is for pure education, so I can show a video to somebody who's on my team and say, hey, these are the things that I expect of you. And then obviously there's sort of the residual benefit or the residual pleasure of potentially talking to new people, right, who I don't know at all. But I think it's very important for me to remember or to remind myself that I also just have to document some of the stuff that maybe isn't quite as educational. It's just purely out of the interest of documenting. And I very often will watch other videos from other people who are documenting certain things. And I do find that there are little nuggets that I wouldn't have necessarily found if they just were trying to make a video about how to do something. Oh, that a lot of people that we help get here. I think there's a real importance in something that I can personally benefit from, and hopefully other people can too, about documenting process. Right? Basically today we're batch shooting a bunch of video content, mostly short form, I think maybe entirely short form video content. And the truth is, this is a very common day for me. I'm probably about 50% content creator, if not more, within my real estate team, within my real estate business. And I believe that that is king, right? I really believe that making helpful, informative, engaging content is the most important thing that a new real estate agent can do, or just a real estate agent in the year 2024. So I'll admit, on this video, I don't have a planned out course of action. I don't have a planned out script, not that I ever really script that much, but I just want to show how I am currently thinking about batch shooting content, how I'm currently thinking about how could I potentially record 20, 30 short form videos in a single day. So that's what we're doing. So we came up with ideas yesterday, probably 30 some videos, and they're really rough, right? And probably not all of them will work out very well. But now I've tried to kind of forget them so that Paul is basically just gonna prompt me to talk about something so I can sort of try my best to speak very casually on it, because I tend to think that more casual is more authentic. It is my brand. So to be able to casually talk about something, but with like a high level of competency, I guess that is the brand. I guess that's the main bit of what I'm up to. The downside of batch shooting is that you burn out a little bit, right? My brain fries a little bit. I'm getting better and better at it, and it fries a little bit less every time. The upside is that you get on a roll, right? And I think if you can enter that flow state, the burnout doesn't happen, and you're just on a roll, and you're getting better and better at things. Things are just getting a little bit smoother. And then there's just sort of the mental reward that you just feel more accomplished. You feel like you've gotten more done, even though maybe I could spread this out across multiple days. But I've set aside the time to be here. All the lights and cameras are all set up. And pretty much every time I shoot a video, even if I did one yesterday, I still kind of gotta like kick some of the dust off, right? So by batching these, there's an economy of time. We got 10 short form videos and this video, this long form video shot today. We probably could have been more productive, fair, but 10 feels really, really good. And they're fairly complex videos. And with how we run our Instagram and our TikTok, that's probably like plenty of content for at least a month that we shot in one day. I will say, caveat, I'd love to be doing more. Right? So I'm always striving to be able to put out more. I'd love to put out 60 pieces of content in a month, right? Especially as a post or as a reel or something like that. I would really strive to be able to do that. But we are doing a lot of long form stuff on YouTube. These are not excuses. These are just like, this is what we are doing. This is the sort of the rate that we've been going at. And it's been very, very successful with this sort of rate of content. And the truth is, like, this content machine, right? This like video production machine is a habit, right? And it's taken a little while to arrive at all of these things becoming a habit, and there's been distractions along the way. And there will always be those things. There will always be, you know, hurdles, there will always be shiny objects and whatever, but making sure that I'm doing the work to make the content, whether it's the long form stuff or the short form stuff, to me, that is the thing. That's the number one job, the thing that I'm focused on and trying to make sure that I can get to at all times. Batching the content like this is what allows me to get ahead. And I need to remind myself that I should get ahead, right? So I should do 10 videos today, and tomorrow I should do another 10. I should be way further ahead than I am, so I'm not even thinking about, oh, I don't have anything to post, because I should be ready to post stuff for the next 3 months, right? We do that on a lot of our YouTube channels. We will go to Denver and we will shoot videos for 3, 4, 5 months worth of content. And it feels really good to come back at the end of a 10-day trip and be like, we're good for 5 months. Like, do you realize how crazy that is? Do you realize how wild and how sort of like accomplished that feels? But I can't figure out, or the thing that like plagues me is that I don't do that for everything. And a big part of me is like, why don't I do that for everything? Why am I not that far ahead on all of these things? Again, it's probably hurdles, distractions, excuses. I think moving forward, my goal is to try to ramp up the content machine to where I am ahead by several months for content across the board. I'm going on a trip pretty soon here in just over a month, and it's going to be a 3-week trip to Europe, which is kind of terrifying. I've never done a 3-week. I've done a 2-week which is awesome. As a real estate team owner, I've done 2 weeks. 3 weeks feels not just 1.5 times daunting, it feels like 3 times more daunting, and I don't know why. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that that's 3 weeks that I won't be making content for the main channels. I do intend on making videos for this channel while I'm out there, because I think that seems super fun and like a cool ambiance. And so this video is, if nothing else, for me, just a reminder to get ahead with all of the content. Get so far ahead on all of the content that I could take a 3-week trip, a month-long trip, and I still wouldn't fall behind. If I can work smarter and more efficiently and more consistently in getting way, way, way ahead, then I can be more free. I can have more of a free life to do the things that I want to do. And sometimes that will probably be starting another work thing, right? Doing more work. And because I know myself and how I think and how I like to be, I know that if I were to get that far ahead and that efficient and that consistent, that I probably would add some other work thing to the workload. It would probably be in the interest of growing this one main thing to, you know, a 10x level, but I would be able to start to solve those problems. And to me, the first problem that has to be solved is the not running behind, not chasing my tail in the content space. But okay, see you in the next one.